All right, they're back. I'm not talking about legislators getting ready for the new season of leadership here. I'm talking about a House GOP plan. They're kicking back and forth the use of earmarks. They were very close to sort of nailing this down before Speaker Paul Ryan, we're told, said, why don't we bring this up with the president-elect and we'll pursue this matter a little later. Well, no sooner had Harry Reid heard that Republicans were looking at reinstating something that he loved, well, then he was off to the races. Listen to this.
I'm one of the kings of earmarks. I think it was a terrible disservice to America to come up with this stupid idea to stop congressional directed spending. Of course we should be doing it. It's a way we get things done around here, the way it was done for centuries. We have a constitutional obligation to do congressionally directed spending. I've never apologized to anybody. I go home and I boast about earmarks, and that's what everyone should do.
To boast about earmarks, that's boasting about finding all sorts of ways to spend and keep the gravy train growing. All right, Fox Business Network's Charles Payne. I'm surprised the subject's even coming up and that Republicans are the one kicking it around. But what do you make of this?
It's shocking. It is absolutely shocking. I'm as surprised as you are. I mean, we're talking about earmarks, which we had a moratorium on since 2011. Harry Reid's right. He has been unabashed, pushing this, extolling their virtues, saying, hey, if you don't want gridlock, put these goodies in. The problem with these goodies, how about 19.8 trillion and counting? Problem with these goodies is that we get the kind of government that has bogged this country down, that has bogged our economy down. And by the way, we just had an American public that overwhelmingly rejected the notion of Washington insiders doing these sort of deals, these cherry-picked deals, so that they can go back home, brag about bringing the pork and making the nation poor.
You know, the argument for earmarks is that they're a means to an end, and that they can be used to sort of buy votes for, in this case, maybe wooing others to some of your big plans. So is this modern-day Republican group's plan to imitate what Ronald Reagan was doing in the early 1980s to win over Southern Democrats, the so-called Bo Weevils then? And he did, but he promised them a lot of stuff in the interim.
Neil, we're at the end of that gravy train, and the American public knows it. You know, these. By the way, let's talk about the numbers. The peak, 2006 for earmarks, 15,800 of them, $72 billion. And by the way, it included an $18 million bridge near Harry Reid's 160-acre farm in Nevada, right? So the American public has said, we don't want this. They just spoke. It was just a week ago. They want the government to tighten its belt, free up money so that Main Street America has access to this cash, and they can grow this economy the right way, not this kind of way. I understand maybe there's some folks who think that you can get deals done, and of course you can, but what's the real cost of getting them done?
It's spending to really commit to bigger spending, right? Isn't that the argument they use, that it's sort of like a drug, and once you have it, left or right, it gets out of control.
It is absolutely amazing. It's, you know, sort of that old saying about power corrupting. This is power and money that corrupts and corrupts and corrupts, and it only gets worse. Imagine that, $72 billion in 2006. We don't want that right now, not in this country. We want these guys in Washington, D.C. to make decisions based on fiscal responsibility and ultimately how it empowers the entire country, not getting reelected because you brought home a bridge to nowhere.
All right. Thank you, Charles Payne. We'll see how the markets weigh all of this if it ever comes to fruition.